All right, welcome back, everybody. Again, I got a warm up for us today. So my recommendation again, take a second here, pause the video, actually try and do this on your own. Math is not a spectator sport, meaning you can't learn math by just watching me do this on a video. You have to actually be active in trying to solve these problems. So pause the video now and give that a try. And when you are done, go ahead, resume the video, and I will walk you through this. Okay, hopefully you've got an answer by now. So, solve using elimination. Okay, that means we need to look for the same number in front of either both x's or both y's and opposite signs. I'll recognize right away that I have a 4x and a negative 4x. That's perfect. That is exactly the setup that we want. So all I have to do is add these two equations together. Okay, 4x plus negative 4x. It's gone. X's have been eliminated. I take 8y plus 2y, and I get 10y is equal to 20 plus negative 30, which is negative 10. Now I have the equation 10y equals negative 10. I divide both sides by 10, and I get that y is equal to negative 1. Again, it does not matter what equation you plug into. I'm actually going to plug into this top one here. I really have no reason to pick that one other than the fact that it's just got a few more positive numbers. It's really whatever you feel like, though. You'll get the same answer. You end up with 4x plus 8 times negative 1. See if that equals 20. And 4x minus 8. 8 times negative 1 is negative 8, so I just change signs there. And that's going to equal 20. I add 8. I add 8. And I go 4x equals 28. Divide by 4, divide by 4. And I get that x is equal to 7. Again, just like everything else we've done, you have an x and a y value. We're trying to see where these two lines cross. It is at the point 7, negative 1. So we're going to write it as a point 7, negative 1. Ordered pair. There's our final answer. Now, staying in 7.3 today, still talking about elimination, and we're going to solve the linear system 3x plus 2y equals 8, and 2y is equal to 12 minus 5x. Now, hopefully you go, this is not in the same order that we've worked with, okay? X's and y's have to be on the same side. That's everything that we have seen so far. And you can see in this bottom one right here, 2y equals 12 minus 5x. That's not going to work for us, okay? X's and y's are not on the same side like they are in the first equation, 3x plus 2y equals 8. Okay? That's not a big deal, though. Okay? To get x and y on the same side is pretty simple. Since I'm subtracting 5x here, okay, I want to make it disappear from the right side and appear on the left side. So since I'm subtracting 5x, I'm going to add 5x on the right, which means I need to add 5x on the left. And I'm actually going to copy down the entire problem again, just so I can get a clean problem here. So 3x plus 2y is equal to 8. Okay, just copy that directly down from what I had. Just gives me a little room to work here. Now, after I move my 5x over in the bottom equation, I get that 5x plus 2y. Okay, I take plus 2y because this 2y right here is positive, is equal to 12. Now, I look at this. 3 and 5, obviously not the same number, so I'm not going to take a look at x's for right now. Maybe down the road I'll circle back to those. But I look at my y's. I have 2y and 2y. Hey, that's a lot better. I left the x's alone so I can focus on the y's now. The only problem is they're both plus 2y. I need one of them to be negative. Again, just like in the last video that I showed you guys, changing signs is not a big deal. All you got to do is multiply by a negative. And I'm going to multiply the top equation by -1. Okay, by doing this, it's going to change the sign on everything. But I have bigger numbers in the second equation, so when I multiply everything by -1 there, I end up working with more negatives. I'm going to try and stay on the positive side here. So -1 times 3x is -3x. -1 times positive 2y is -2y. And -1 times 8 is a -8. Now, I have same number, opposite signs. I add 5x plus -3x gives me 2x. And 2y plus -2y, the y's are gone. They've been eliminated. That's why we call this elimination. And 12 plus -8 is a positive 4. I divide both sides by 2. X is equal to 2. And now, really, you can plug into whatever equation you want, whether it is this one, this one, this one, or one of your original equations there. Got to angle that arrow a little bit since I already have one pointing to that. So I've just got to pick one and figure out what I want to do. I think I'm going to go with this one right here, the 5x plus 2y equals 12. So I'm going to go 5 times 2 plus 2y equals 12. So I get 10 plus 2y equals 12. Subtract 10, and I get that 2y is equal to 2. Divide both sides by 2, and y is equal to 1. Again, write your answer as an ordered pair. That's going to be very important. I will take points for that if you don't. Okay, it's that important. So, right is the ordered pair 2, 1, and we've solved our problem, and life is good. Now, everybody's favorite story problems. We have a gold crown suspected of containing some silver, was found to have a weight of 714 grams and a volume of 46 cubic centimeters. The density of gold is about 19 grams per cubic centimeter. The density of silver is about 10.5 grams per cubic centimeter. We want to figure out what percent of the crown is silver. This is actually a real problem. Just some history behind this. It was either Archimedes or Galileo was tasked with this, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But this is a real problem that is really how we learned a lot about density. So, as always, we like to highlight our important information. Actually, the more I think about it, I do believe it was Isaac Newton that was tasked with this. Important information here: has a weight of 714 grams and a volume of 46 cubic centimeters. Density of gold being 19 grams per cubic centimeter, and the density of silver is about 10.5 grams per cubic centimeter. And we want to figure out what percent of the crown is silver. Now, as always, we are going to define what we're going to let X and Y stand for in the context of this problem. X, I'm going to let be the volume of gold. I'm going to let Y be the volume of silver. Now, right away, I know that since I have a crown with a volume of 46 cubic centimeters, okay, I'm gonna use that piece of important information right away. Okay, if the crown has a volume of 46 cubic centimeters, I don't know how much of it is gold and how much of it is silver, but I do know that if I take the volume of gold plus the volume of silver, so x plus y, that has to equal the volume of our crown, 46. Now, the other piece of information that they give us about this crown is that it has a weight of 714 grams, which is actually poor writing on your book's part. It should actually be a mass, because grams does not calculate gravity, whereas weight takes into account of gravity on your body. But the problem is they tell us the density of gold and the density of silver. Okay, I don't know if you guys have worked with density at this point in your science class or not. So density is actually mass divided by volume. So, to get to that mass, all I have to do is I need to get, if I want to get this mass here by itself, this mass right here, try and highlight that for you guys a little bit. Okay, I can multiply both sides by volume. So if I have a density, I just multiply by the volume to get a mass. So what we can end up doing here is writing another equation. Okay, this one is going to use this 714 grams, and we're going to get 19x plus 10.5 y, and that has to equal that that density, or that volume, last correction, weight, 714. Now I have two equations, and just because we're working with elimination, I know this one does set up, if you wanted to use substitution, it would work nicely for you, but it does work very nice for substitution or work with elimination as well. So if I am concerned with how much of the crown is silver, okay, that becomes important. I don't care how much of it is gold, okay? That means I want to solve this for y's. So to get rid of, obviously, if I'm going to eliminate a variable, let's eliminate the one that I don't care about. So I'm going to multiply this top equation by negative 19. Okay, that'll keep my y in the game, plus it'll get rid of my x's so that I can do my elimination process. So when I multiply by negative 19, I get negative 19x minus 19y, and that's going to equal 46 times negative 19 should give me a negative 874. Okay, again, I chose negative 19 because all my y's, or both my x's, are positive, so I just choose that so that my signs will be opposite. And now all I have to do is add my two equations together. 19x plus negative 19x, 0x It's eliminated. I don't have to worry about it. 10.5y plus a negative 19y leaves me with a negative 8.5y. And 714 plus a negative 846 should leave me with a negative 1/6. Oh, I switched a couple of my numbers around. Instead of 874 or 47, it should be negative 874. And now when I add those together, that'll give me a negative 160. Sorry about that. Divide both sides by negative 8.5. And I get that y is 18.8. So that actually means that of that 46 cubic centimeters, that volume of 46 cubic centimeters, 18.8 of that is silver. So there actually was silver in the crown. And to find a percent, because they ask us what percent, make sure you read questions. That's how you know what you're looking for. Okay? Percent. Okay? Is going to tell me that I want to take a part over a whole. So the part I want is the silver part, which we just found to be 18.8, over the whole volume of the crown, 46, and we're going to multiply that by 100, okay, just so we can talk about it as a percent. And when I divide that out, multiply it by 100, I'm going to get roughly, okay, that's what those squiggly equal signs means. It means approximately 41% silver. There's your homework. Give this a try. As always, you know, ask each other questions. Get stuck, whatever. You want to ask me a question, shoot me an email. I will try my best to be around. Obviously, I'm not going to have a textbook with me, so if you need to ask me a question on a specific problem, you're going to have to attach that or somehow let me know what's going on. Otherwise, there's your homework. We'll check this when I get back, and have a good day.